Hey everyone! Welcome back to Love English Lab, the place where you learn to speak English naturally, confidently, and with real conversations that help you sound like a native. I'm Megan, and I'm so happy you're here with us today.
And I'm Michael. If you love learning English in a fun, practical way, where everything feels alive and real, make sure you subscribe and join our growing community of learners from all around the world.
Today's topic is one I'm really excited about because it's something learners ask us all the time. How do native speakers talk in movies? And more importantly, how can you use those same phrases in real life?
Yes, because when you watch movies in English, you hear tons of expressions that don't sound like textbook English. They're fast, natural, emotional, and extremely common.
Right? And sometimes learners hear a phrase and think, wait, is that real? Do people actually say that in everyday life or just in Hollywood?
Spoiler alert, many of those phrases are 100% real. Native speakers use them all the time.
Exactly. And today, we're going to show you the most common movie phrases, explain what they really mean, when to use them, and how they sound in natural conversation.
And you'll hear us use each phrase in realistic mini dialogues, so you can copy the rhythm and tone. Because with phrases like these, tone is everything.
Yes. For example, if you hear a character say, "You've got to be kidding me," they're not joking. They're expressing surprise or disbelief, but the feeling changes depending on how you say it.
Or a phrase like, let's get out of here. In the movies, it sounds dramatic, but in real life, it's totally normal. You can use it with friends, at a party, anywhere.
Exactly. And that's the fun part. These expressions feel dramatic in films, but they're actually everyday natural English.
So here's what we're going to do in today's lesson. We'll introduce each phrase, we'll explain the real meaning, the meaning behind the words. We'll show you when to use it, and we'll act out short scenes so you can copy the pronunciation and emotion.
And don't worry, these aren't slang phrases that only young people use. They're universal, useful, and part of everyday English around the world.
Yes, totally safe to use with friends, co-workers, classmates, anyone.
And one more thing, you don't just want to understand these phrases when you hear them in movies. You want to use them confidently, naturally, and without hesitation.
Right? Because once you start using them, your English instantly sounds more fluent, more modern, and more native-like.
So if you've ever watched a movie and thought, wow, I want to speak like that, then this episode is perfect for you.
Get ready, because these phrases will give your English a huge boost.
All right, let's dive in.
All right, Megan, let's begin with one of the most common movie phrases out there. You've gotta be kidding me.
Yes, this one appears in almost every movie, from comedies to dramas to action films. And the interesting part is that the phrase doesn't literally mean someone is telling a joke.
Exactly. It actually means, I can't believe this, usually in a negative or surprised way. It's a strong reaction to something unexpected.
Right? And the tone is everything. If you say it with a smile, it sounds playful, like you're surprised but amused. But if you say it with a serious voice, it sounds like frustration or disappointment.
Let me give an example. Imagine someone tells you the bus left early and you missed it. You could say, you've got to be kidding me. That means you're annoyed and surprised.
Yes. And in a more positive context, let's say your friend tells you she won free tickets to a concert. You could say it with excitement. You've got to be kidding me. Same phrase, different feeling.
That's why this expression is so useful. It's flexible. It works with different emotions, as long as there's surprise.
And you'll hear shorter versions too, like, "You've got to be kidding," or even just, "You're kidding," right? All of them express disbelief.
Let's model two small scenes so learners can hear the difference. Megan, first let's do the annoyed version.
Sounds good. You give me the situation.
Okay. Imagine I tell you, Megan, the elevator broke again.
"You've got to be kidding me." That tone makes it clear that I'm upset about it.
Perfect. Now let's try the excited version. Here's the situation. Megan, you just won a free vacation to Hawaii.
You've got to be kidding me. That one sounds totally different, right?
Exactly. Same phrase, completely different emotion.
Another thing learners should know is that this phrase is almost always used when the situation is surprising or unexpected. It's not something you say in neutral situations. It needs that emotional reaction.
Yes. If someone says, dinner is ready, you wouldn't respond, you've got to be kidding me, unless something surprising happened, like dinner being ready unusually early.
Good point. Let's show how it works in a normal conversation.
Sure, I'll start. Megan, I forgot my keys inside the car.
You've got to be kidding me. How are we going to get home now?
That's the classic usage, frustration, and disbelief.
Exactly. Now let's give learners a real-life situation where they can use this phrase naturally. For example, imagine you find out your favorite restaurant closed permanently. You could say, "You've got to be kidding me. I loved that place."
Or if someone tells you they woke up late and missed an important meeting, you might say, you've got to be kidding me. It shows you're surprised and maybe a little shocked.
And here's another thing. Native speakers often use this phrase quickly and with emphasis on got and kidding.
Yes, something like, you've got to be kidding me. That rhythm is very natural in everyday English.
And learners can practice that rhythm because in movies, actors say it with emotion. And if you practice it with the same rhythm, your English will sound more real.
Let's break down the pronunciation a bit in a natural way. Notice how got to becomes gotta in fast speech. So it often sounds like, you've got to be kidding me.
Yes, many people say it that way. It's casual, everyday English. Not rude, not formal, just natural.
And sometimes people even drop the you've. They just say, gotta be kidding me.
True. That one sounds a bit more dramatic, and you hear it in movies a lot, especially in action scenes.
Right. For example, imagine someone sees a huge bill they weren't expecting. They might shake their head and say, gotta be kidding me.
Speaking of bills, that reminds me. This phrase is great when talking about money too.
Absolutely. Situation. Your phone bill is $200 this month.
You've got to be kidding me. How did that happen?
See? Perfect real-life use.
Another important point is that this phrase doesn't sound rude when used correctly. It only sounds rude if the tone is angry or aggressive.
Yes, tone is everything. If you say it with a smile or calm voice, it's perfectly polite.
Let's finish this chapter with a short role play so learners can hear the phrase in context.
Great. You start.
Michael, guess what? They canceled the class again.
You've got to be kidding me. That's the third time this week.
And here's a positive one. Michael, your video hit 1 million views.
You've got to be kidding me. That's amazing.
Perfect. Two opposite emotions, same phrase.
And that's why it's so powerful. If you master this expression, you'll sound much more natural in everyday conversation.
Our second movie phrase is one you've probably heard hundreds of times. Let's get out of here.
Yes, this one appears in action movies, comedies, dramas, everywhere. And the best part is that it's not only for dramatic moments. People use it all the time in real life.
Exactly. In movies, it usually sounds urgent, like the characters need to leave quickly. But in everyday English, it simply means, let's go somewhere else.
Right. It's a casual, natural way to say you want to leave a place. No drama needed.
For example, imagine you're at a cafe and it gets loud or crowded. You can look at your friend and say, let's get out of here.
Or if you finish a meeting early and want to step outside for fresh air. Let's get out of here works perfectly.
One important thing is the tone. In movies, actors say it fast and with urgency. But in daily life, the tone is relaxed. Something like, let's get out of here. Soft, casual, friendly.
Exactly. And you often drop the of. Many native speakers say, let's get out of here because out of becomes outa in fast speech.
Yes, outa is super common. You hear it everywhere. Movies, TV shows, daily conversation.
Let's show a quick example. You say the line casually, Megan.
Sure. Hey, it's really loud in here. Let's get out of here.
Perfect. That's everyday English.
And now, let's show the dramatic movie version.
Okay. The building's shaking. Let's get out of here. See? Same phrase, different energy.
Let's break down the meaning clearly so learners remember it. It doesn't mean you're angry. It doesn't mean you want to escape danger. It simply means you want to leave the place you're currently in.
Exactly. It's casual, friendly, and easy to use.
Another nice thing is that it works in all kinds of places: a restaurant, a party, a store, a meeting, even your own house. If you want to go for a walk.
Let's show a small scene. I'll start. Megan, this restaurant is taking forever. We've been waiting for an hour.
Yeah, let's get out of here and find another place.
Great. That's natural and polite.
Now let's show a different situation: boredom.
Okay. This movie isn't very good.
I know. Let's get out of here and watch something else at home.
Perfect. That's exactly how people use it.
And sometimes it can sound playful, like you're escaping something funny or silly. For example, imagine two friends at a party.
These people are all dancing the same dance.
Let's get out of here before they make us join.
I love that. It's friendly and fun.
Another thing learners should know is that this phrase is never rude by itself. It only becomes rude if your tone is rude.
Right. If you smile when you say it, it sounds completely polite. Let's get out of here is basically the same as saying, let's go somewhere else.
And here's a helpful tip. You can add a reason after it if you want to sound extra polite. Like, let's get out of here. It's too crowded. Or, let's get out of here. I'm getting tired.
Yes, adding the reason makes it softer and clearer.
Let's do one more scene with a polite tone.
Megan, this cafe is getting so noisy.
Yeah, let's get out of here and find a quieter place.
Perfect. Simple, natural, real English.
And now let's show the casual version you hear between friends.
I'm bored.
Same, let's get out of here.
Fast, short, and very native.
One more important thing. This phrase is automatic for native speakers. They say it without thinking. That's why using it can instantly make your English sound more fluent.
Yes, and it works in almost every situation where you want to leave. The only exception is formal situations like job interviews. Then it's better to say something like, shall we go, or let's head out.
That's a good point. Let's get out of here is casual. Friends, coworkers, family, perfect. But not with your boss, your teacher, or in professional meetings.
Exactly. It's friendly, comfortable English.
Let's give learners 7 natural examples they can imagine using. At a noisy restaurant. Let's get out of here. It's too loud. At a boring event. Let's get out of here. I'm falling asleep. After finishing work. All right, let's get out of here. At a cafe with slow service. Let's get out of here and find something faster. At a store with long lines. Let's get out of here. This will take forever. After class. We're done. Let's get out of here. At home, wanting fresh air? Let's get out of here and go for a walk.
Those examples are perfect. They all show how flexible and natural the phrase is.
So if you want to sound more native, start using let's get out of here or let's get out of here in your daily conversations.
It's simple, natural, and sounds exactly like what you hear in movies.
And now that we've mastered this one, let's move on to our next movie phrase, one that you hear in every dramatic scene, but that's also common in real life.
Yes, the classic line, "What are you doing here?" Our next movie phrase is one actors use in emotional scenes, dramatic moments, and even in comedies. The phrase is, "What are you doing here?"
Yes, this one is everywhere, but the interesting thing is, that native speakers also use it all the time in real life, and the meaning changes depending on the tone. The words stay the same, but the feeling behind them can be friendly, confused, or even uncomfortable.
Exactly. And that's what makes this phrase so useful. It's flexible. You can use it when you're surprised in a positive way, or when you honestly didn't expect someone to show up.
Right. For example, imagine you're walking into a coffee shop and suddenly you see your best friend from another city. You smile and say, "What are you doing here?" It's full of excitement.
Yes, that version sounds like a happy surprise. Something like, "What are you doing here? I thought you were miles away."
Exactly. Same phrase, totally different feeling. Now imagine a different moment. You're at work on a weekend because you forgot something at your desk, and you see a coworker walking around the empty office. You're not excited, you're just curious. So you say it calmly. "What are you doing here?"
That one has a soft, neutral tone. You're not upset. You just didn't expect to see that person. It's almost like asking, "Why are you here right now?"
And then there's the movie style version, the dramatic one. Maybe there's tension, a breakup, or an emotional confrontation. You open a door and see someone you didn't expect. Your voice changes, your body freezes, and you say, "What are you doing here?" But this time, the feeling is heavy.
Yes, it's a stronger version. The tone makes it sound like the person shouldn't be there. And movies love this version. It creates tension instantly.
Exactly. But we need to remind learners that the phrase itself is not rude. It only becomes rude when the tone is sharp or angry.
Right. If you say it with a friendly smile, it's totally safe to use. For example, imagine running into a classmate at the mall. You smile and say, "Wait, what are you doing here?" It sounds warm and natural.
Yes, and learners should feel comfortable using this phrase because it fits so many everyday situations. You're at the supermarket and you see your cousin. "Hey, what are you doing here?" You're at the gym and you see someone from work. "What are you doing here?" It's very normal.
And sometimes people shorten it. "What are you doing here?" The words blend together. Or, in casual speech, someone might say, "What are you doing here, man?" when talking to a friend.
There's also a softer variation that many natives use. "How come you're here?" That one feels gentle, almost curious, and you hear it in everyday conversation a lot.
Yes, that one's great. But the classic movie line is still the original. "What are you doing here?" And the emotional meaning depends completely on the voice.
Let's model the three tones so learners can hear the difference naturally. Start with the friendly version, Michael.
Sure. "Megan, what are you doing here? I had no idea you were in this part of town."
Perfect. That one feels warm and genuinely surprised. Now the confused one. "Michael, what are you doing here? I thought the office was closed today."
Yes, that sounds like simple curiosity. Now let's do the dramatic one that feels like a movie moment. "Megan, what are you doing here?"
Totally different feeling. Stronger, more serious, a little emotional.
And that's exactly why this expression is powerful. You can adjust it for so many situations simply by changing the tone.
I think learners will also find it helpful to know when it doesn't fit. For example, you wouldn't use this phrase if you invited someone. If you said, "Come over at 5," and they arrive at 5, you wouldn't say, "What are you doing here?" because that sounds confused or surprised.
Yes, good point. You only use it when their presence is unexpected.
Another tip, if you're speaking with someone new or someone older, use a soft tone. A sharp tone can sound rude if you're not careful.
Yes, especially in English-speaking cultures, where tone carries a lot of meaning. A gentle voice can make almost any phrase sound polite.
Let's create a few short scenes to help listeners imagine real-life moments.
Okay. Scene 1. You're grocery shopping and suddenly see your teacher. "What are you doing here? I never see you in this area."
Scene 2. You visit your office on a Sunday to pick up something and see your coworker. "What are you doing here? I thought you were off today."
Scene 3. The dramatic version. You go home and find someone waiting on your porch. What are you doing here?
Those examples show how flexible it is. Same phrase, completely different emotion.
And once learners master the tone, this expression will feel natural and useful. It's one of those lines that instantly makes your English sound more real because native speakers say it without thinking.
Exactly. And you'll understand movies so much better because this line appears everywhere. Romantic movies, thrillers, comedies, you name it.
So now that we've practiced this classic movie line, let's move to a phrase that's full of encouragement and positivity. Something you hear in emotional moments when characters support each other.
Yes, our next phrase is one of my favorites. Come on, you can do this. Our next movie phrase is one of the most inspiring ones. Come on, you can do this. You hear it in sports movies, emotional scenes, and moments where someone needs encouragement.
Yes, this phrase shows up everywhere. When a character is scared, tired, nervous, or losing confidence, someone looks at them and says, "Come on, you can do this." It's simple but powerful.
And what I love is that native speakers use this phrase all the time in real life, too. It's not dramatic unless you make it dramatic. It can be soft, warm, or energetic, depending on the situation.
Exactly. There are two main feelings behind it. One is motivation, when you want someone to keep going. The other is comfort, when you want someone to feel supported.
Yes. Imagine a friend is practicing English and says, I don't think I can speak in front of the class. You smile and say, come on, you can do this. It feels friendly and supportive.
Right. Or imagine someone trying to open a difficult jar in the kitchen. You laugh a little and say, "Come on, you can do this." Same phrase, just lighter and playful.
That's why it's so useful. You can make it soft or strong, depending on the tone. The words stay the same. The voice gives it meaning.
And in movies, you often hear the emotional version. Someone is about to give up, and the music gets louder, and a character says, "Come on, you can do this." Slower, softer, emotional.
Exactly. That slower version really touches people. It shows you care. And I think learners will love that they can use this in almost any situation where someone needs a little push.
Let's give examples so listeners can hear the different tones. First, the soft, emotional version.
Okay. Come on, you can do this. Just take a deep breath. That one feels comforting.
Now the energetic one you hear in sports scenes. "Come on, you can do this." Shorter, louder, full of energy.
And here's a playful version when someone is trying something silly. Come on, you can do this. Light voice, almost laughing.
It's amazing how the phrase adapts to the moment. And I think learners need to understand that natives don't only use this in dramatic moments. They use it in everyday life.
Yes. For example, imagine your friend is struggling with a math problem. Come on, you can do this. Or someone is learning to drive and feels nervous. Come on, you can do this. Just relax. It's encouraging, not dramatic.
And it's perfect for English learners too. If someone is scared to speak, you can say, "Come on, you can do this. Your English is good." It feels real and supportive.
Another interesting thing is that native speakers often shorten it. They might say, you can do this, or even just, come on. And both versions still sound natural.
Yes. "Come on" by itself is very flexible. It can mean encouragement. "Come on, you've got this." Or motivation. "Come on, keep going." Or even frustration if the tone is sharp. "Come on." But the supportive version is the one we're focusing on here.
Exactly. And in movies, the supportive version often comes right before a big moment, the big jump, the big speech, the big decision.
But in daily life, it's more about showing kindness. You want the other person to feel seen and supported.
Let's create a few mini scenes to make it easy to imagine.
Scene 1. A student is nervous about giving a presentation. "Megan, I can't do this." Yes, you can. Come on, you can do this.
Scene 2. Someone is trying to lift a heavy box. Michael, this is too heavy. Come on, you can do this. Just try again.
Scene 3. A friend is scared to speak in English. I think I'll make mistakes. Come on, you can do this. Don't be afraid.
Scene 4. A child learning to ride a bike. Mom, I'm scared. Come on, you can do this. I'm right here.
Those examples show how universal the phrase is. You can use it with adults, teenagers, children, anyone.
And if you want to make it more personal, you can add the person's name. Come on, David, you can do this. It feels stronger, more focused.
Yes, like you're speaking directly to them.
One thing learners should remember is that this phrase is always positive. It never sounds rude unless the tone is aggressive.
Right. And if the tone is gentle, it sounds incredibly supportive. Come on, you can do this. It's like saying, I believe in you.
I love that, and I think that's the heart of the phrase. It's not just about motivation, it's about belief. You're telling someone that you trust their ability.
Exactly. And that makes it such a great tool for English learners. They can practice it at home, with friends, with their kids, even with themselves.
Yes, people sometimes say it to themselves, especially in movies. Come on, you can do this. Like a little pep talk.
And that's actually very helpful in real life, too. You can say it before a job interview, before an exam, before giving a presentation.
Or before recording a YouTube video. Come on, you can do this. It gives you confidence.
So now that learners understand this phrase deeply, let's move on to another iconic movie expression, one that appears in dramatic and emotional scenes, but also in funny ones.
Yes, the classic line, it's not what it looks like. Our next movie phrase is one of the most dramatic, emotional, and sometimes funny lines ever. It's not what it looks like.
Yes, this phrase appears in romantic movies, action movies, comedies, basically everywhere. And the moment someone says it, you immediately know something surprising or confusing just happened.
Exactly. In movies, it usually appears when a character is caught in a situation that looks suspicious, embarrassing, or completely misunderstood, and they try to explain quickly, it's not what it looks like.
But even though it sounds dramatic on screen, it's actually used in real life too. People say it when there's a misunderstanding, something that seems wrong but isn't.
Right? And I think learners will love how flexible this phrase is. You can use it seriously, playfully, or even as a joke with friends.
For example, imagine you're carrying 2 big boxes of chocolate at the supermarket. Your friend sees you and gives you a funny look. You laugh and say, "It's not what it looks like. I'm buying these for a party."
Yes, that's a playful version. No drama, just humor. And it works perfectly because the situation looks like one thing, but the reality is something else.
And now a more serious version. Imagine someone walks into a room and sees you holding someone else's phone. They look confused. You say, "It's not what it looks like. I'm just helping them fix it."
Exactly. That's the most common meaning. The situation looks wrong, but it's actually innocent.
And in movies, directors love this line because it creates tension. A character walks in, sees something surprising, and the other person immediately says, wait, it's not what it looks like."
And sometimes that line makes the moment even funnier. For example, imagine a character slips and falls on someone at the gym. Someone else walks in at the wrong moment. The character jumps up and says, "It's not what it looks like."
Yes, that version is classic, and learners should know that the phrase always tries to fix the misunderstanding. It means, let me explain.
Exactly. It's like saying, "You're probably thinking the wrong thing right now."
Let's give some real-life examples to help listeners imagine situations where they can use it naturally.
Sure, here's one. You spill coffee on your shirt, and someone sees you cleaning it. You say, "It's not what it looks like. I'm not crying. I just spilled my drink."
That's perfect. And here's another one. You're looking at a baby stroller, not because you have a baby, but because your friend asked for advice. Someone you know walks by. You say, "It's not what it looks like. I'm just helping a friend."
And here's a funny one. Your cat knocks over a plant, and your roommate walks in right as you're picking up the pieces. You say, "It's not what it looks like. The cat did it, not me."
Yes, those examples show how fun and natural the phrase can be.
But learners should also know that this phrase almost always appears when something unexpected happens. If the situation is normal, you don't say it.
Right. You wouldn't use it in a simple situation like eating lunch or watching TV. It's only for moments that look suspicious, surprising, or confusing.
And here's another interesting point. The phrase can be used with a serious tone to protect your reputation. For example, imagine you're at work and someone sees you printing a personal document. You quickly say, "It's not what it looks like. I'm just printing something for the team."
Yes, the tone becomes more formal, more careful, and the phrase still works.
But if you're with friends, you can use it with humor. Imagine someone walks in and sees you with 4 donuts. You laugh and say, "It's not what it looks like. I swear I'm not eating all of these."
I love that. And learners should feel confident using it because it's not slang. It's a very normal, everyday English phrase.
Absolutely. And pronunciation is important too. In fast speech, it often sounds like, "It's not what it looks like." The words flow together easily.
And the tone carries the meaning. If you say it slowly, it sounds serious. If you say it fast, it sounds playful.
Let's model both versions.
Serious version? Megan, it's not what it looks like. I can explain.
And now the playful one. "Hey, it's not what it looks like. I'm not eating all these cookies."
Both sound natural, just different emotions.
And the phrase can also be used as a joke, even when nothing suspicious happened. For example, someone walks into a room and sees you stretching. You smile and say, "It's not what it looks like." It's just a funny way to make the moment lighter.
Yes, that joke version is popular among friends. It shows you don't take the situation too seriously.
So now that learners understand how this phrase works, they can use it confidently. Whether they want to be funny, serious, or dramatic, it fits almost any situation where things look confusing.
And that brings us to the end of our phrases. But before we finish, we need one more thing. A final reflection to help learners understand how these movie phrases can actually change their English fluency.
Yes, let's wrap everything up and help them feel inspired. You know, Michael, after exploring all these movie phrases and seeing how they work in real conversations, I think there's something really important learners can take away from this episode.
I agree. These phrases aren't just fun lines from Hollywood. They're real tools that help you sound natural, confident, and expressive in daily life.
Yes, and what I love is that each phrase carries emotion. They're short, but they communicate so much. Surprise, frustration, excitement, confusion, or even humor. That's what makes them powerful.
Exactly. When you start using phrases like, "You've got to be kidding me," or "It's not what it looks like," you're not only learning vocabulary, you're learning rhythm, tone, and attitude. Those things make your English come alive.
Right? And that's something learners often miss when they only study grammar or vocabulary lists. Real English isn't about memorizing rules. It's about how people actually talk, laugh, disagree, react, and connect in everyday moments.
That's so true. And movie phrases are great for that because they're simple, emotional, and easy to remember. You hear them once, and suddenly they stick in your mind.
And the best part is that you can practice them immediately. You don't need a special situation. You can use them with friends, coworkers, classmates, even with yourself when you're thinking out loud.
Yes. And when you practice phrases like these, you start building what we call natural fluency, the ability to respond quickly without translating in your head.
I love that. Natural fluency is the moment when English stops being something you study and becomes something you live. These phrases help create that transition.
And they also help with confidence. When you use phrases from movies, you feel more expressive, more ready to participate in conversations.
Exactly. And it's not about sounding dramatic or trying to act. It's about adding emotion to your speech in a natural way. That's how native speakers communicate.
Right. Language is emotion. And when you learn emotional English, the small reactions, the little everyday expressions, you become easier to understand and easier to connect with.
And I think that's the real goal. Not just speaking correctly, but speaking in a way that feels human.
Yes. Human, warm, and real. That's what these movie phrases bring to your English.
So, to everyone listening, remember this. If you want to sound more fluent, don't only study long grammar explanations, study moments, study reactions, study real life expressions.
And don't be afraid to sound expressive. Don't be afraid to show emotion in English. It's part of communication, and it helps you feel more confident.
Exactly. Every time you try one of these phrases, you take one more step toward natural English.
And we're proud of you for that.
Thanks for joining us.
And we'll see you next time on Love English Lab.